And that wraps up 2025 for Barcelona, ladies and gentlemen. Barcelona, top of the league. Barcelona, 7-game win streak after the humiliating loss against Chelsea in the Champions League. And Barcelona going into the second half of the season with a lot of optimism. A lot of optimism compared to the way that we started the season to how we're ending the year. So definitely, we definitely have improved a lot, because the beginning of the season, a lot of question marks, a lot of massive concerns as well. But now we're ending the year a little bit more calm and confident that these group of players can definitely improve in the second half of the season when it really matters. That's when they'll really be tested and see what they're really about. Because if not, and of course, changes must be made. Changes must be made, but I'm confident, man. I'm confident in the coach that we have, and I'm confident in the group of players that in the second half of the season, in crunch time, will step up and win the sixth. Maybe pushing a little bit too far there, but I'm confident. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona today get a massive win over Villarreal away from home to stay top of the league, to keep that gap, that 4-point gap against Real Madrid. End of the year, top of the table, which we all love to see compared, especially, going up and down to that table throughout this season so far. It's great that at the end of the year, at least, we're finishing top of the league. But yes, guys, Barcelona, a massive win, 2 goals today, goals from Raphinha and from Lamine, Yamal. The reason I'm dropping this video a little bit late is because I couldn't watch the game live. I actually watched like the first half live, but I had to rewatch the second half, and then I was like, all right, let me just rewatch the whole game in general, just, have a, just continuous game and see what happened and, get my memory right of what happened, because you guys know I'm not going to drop a video. I'm not going to drop a match review without actually watching the game. I'm not going to watch the highlights, and I got to watch the whole game. I got to see everything that happened throughout the game to see and tell you guys what I thought about the game. So, of course, but before we start talking about the game in general, I feel safe. Finally, I feel safe. We have a goalkeeper that can actually fucking save us. I feel safe. We'll talk about him in a bit. But let's go over the lineup that Hansi Flick decided to go for today. So Hansi Flick decided to go for Joan Garcia in goal, backline of Jules Koundé, Paco Barsi, Gerard Mardini, and Alejandro Balde. Midfield of Eric Garcia, Frankie de Jong, and Fermín López, and up top Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres, and Raphinha. Interesting lineup from Barcelona. Of course, you can say for the most part, this is the lineup that Hansi Flick can trust the most. The only key player that is clearly missing is the likes of Pedri Gonzalez, who before the game was ruled out because of if I remember right, it was like a minor injury. I don't think it was anything to be really concerned about. Obviously, we just want to give the guy the rest. He's come back from injury as of recent, so let's not risk him at all, right? Let's not risk him. And Hansi Flick made the right choice to not risk him and be like, all right, bro, take your time. We're going to have some weeks off. Come back 100% for the second half of the season where we'll 100% need you. And we saw that first half why Pedri is such a key figure to this team. But yeah, solid lineup from Barcelona in general. But of course, we're going up against a Villarreal side who are, of course, fighting for a top 4 spot, who, if they had won this game, actually would have, made a massive push going to try and finish top of the table themselves as well, because they have a game in hand. They have to play another game. So this was as much as an important game for Villarreal as much as it was for us to stay top of the league. But yeah, a massive win again for Barcelona, man. Like, look at the record that we've had after the Chelsea loss, man. Just win. Clean sheet. 3 clean sheets in a row, man. At the beginning of the season, this was a myth. Can Barcelona hold a clean sheet? This was a myth. Now we're showing like, all right, maybe. And that has to do a lot with this beautiful player right here. But yeah, talking about the game, that first half, I have a lot of mixed emotions with that first half. Like some good moments, but at the same time, not that great. I think we were a little bit shaky in the beginning. I think Villarreal definitely came at us. Of course, we're playing away at their ground, so of course they're going to come at us with a lot of confidence, and I think they did. Honestly, as a full scope of the game, I think if they didn't go down to 10 men, this game would have been way more difficult, and probably we wouldn't have gotten a favorable result, because that first half we were very shaky, because this was a story of 2 halves. That first half, very shaky, some concerns in our defense, some concerns in individuals making mistakes, and that second half was for the most part cruise control, because they were 10 men down. Like, for the most part, we were all over them, and a lot of players improved, of course, because it comes down to they had a man less, right? So, but that first half, I thought we were very shaky. Villarreal got through us a couple times. Individual mistakes like Bernal, Cobarsi, Alejandro Balde near our box, where you're just like, what is happening right there? Where Villarreal should have really capitalized on. But of course, we have the likes of Juan Garcia who saved us. And of course, they also messed up a lot of their shots as well. But again, it's just a matter of one thing that was definitely missing was the midfield presence. Like Eddie Garcia, this whole debate between Eddie Garcia and Frankie de Jong, who should start, who should start, who should start. But then we're also forgetting it's who should start next to Pedri. Right? It's who cares about this debate between Eddie Garcia and Frankie? You can start either or. The main important part is having Pedri Gonzalez there, and we saw in that first half Pedri's miss, like he was missing throughout this game because Eddie Garcia was isolated a lot of times throughout in the midfield, where Frankie, for some reason, like just shied away from the ball. Like he wasn't dropping deep and collecting the ball as much as he should have. He's like, all right, Eric, you can do that for me a little bit, because Frankie de Jong wanted to attack a lot more. He wanted to go up forward a lot more. And Eric Garcia, in those tight spaces, in those isolated areas where he's getting the ball by himself and he's getting pressured, he can't handle it. Let's be honest. Eddie Garcia is a player whose main priority in the midfield is to defend, recover the ball. Be that guy who's just going to eye the ball anytime we lose it and try to get it back for us immediately. He's not a Pedri, he's not a Bernal, he's not a Frankie de Jong who's going to have the confidence to take a delicate touch, make a half turn, open up space for us. He's just not that guy. He wants to play it quick, and we see anytime he gets the ball, he wants to pass it immediately. He doesn't want to handle that pressure because he can't handle that pressure. And we saw a lot of mistakes that he made in the first half where he lost the ball multiple times because he couldn't handle that pressure, and that's where we need Frankie to step up. Frankie started to step up a little bit towards the end of the the first half, when they went 10-man down, but I think Frankie should have gotten a lot more involved in those first opening 20 minutes or 30 minutes, however long it took for them to get 30 minutes, almost 40 minutes before they get that red card. I don't know, but that midfield, we looked all over the place in the midfield for sure, especially Fermin as well, who I didn't think had a great performance at all. So the midfield battle for me was a little bit non-existent, where we had to play it out wide a lot. We had to play it a lot towards Raphinha or towards Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side. But first half, we go up with a clear penalty that was put on Raphinha. Lamine Yamal with a great pass to Raphinha. Raphinha drives into the box, and a clear foul on Raphinha to get us the penalty to go up 1-0. Raphinha takes it with full-on confidence, and boom, bangs it in, sends the goalkeeper the other way. And you know the funny thing, the guy that actually, I think it was this guy. Yeah, I think this guy. The funny thing is that this guy was the one that fouled Raphinha for the first goal, and he also, I think before the game, he said that we're going to be Barcelona. Yeah, nice try, buddy. But and then from there again, it was a little bit of a back and forth where we struggled a bit to create some chances. Really, let's be honest, it wasn't the greatest going forward. Lamine, he attempted, but he was also wasting a lot of balls. The connection really wasn't there. The second half, the connection definitely improved from the attack, but the connection in the first half really wasn't there. Ferran Torres pretty much non-existent in that first half. Fermin, again, wasteful many times on the ball. And the midfield, just not enough cohesion to really, bring balance to the team, especially just controlling the ball, controlling the tempo. It really wasn't there. Villarreal did a really great job, pressing us and, putting pressure on us to force long balls or force us to lose the ball in stupid areas, like we saw in moments where Villarreal put pressure on us, and individual mistakes again from Martin, Eddie Garcia, Balde. Balde won inside the box. You're just thinking, what are you doing? Gerard Martin made some bad passes. Cubarsí made some bad passes. It was just clear that the connection between the defense and the midfield wasn't there in that first half. Second half again, it improves a lot more because they're 10-man down, right? So that first half wasn't great. It wasn't great. For going forward, we were very wasteful, not enough, and midfield non-existent, and defensively individual mistakes was bad. Balde, I didn't think was great at all in that first half. I think Koundé was probably the best out of the lot from the first half, but yeah, that first half was not impressive. And then in the 39th minute, Viega. Okay, this is what I was going to check right now, because the commentator said the Brazilian defender. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure he's Portuguese. Viega goes and tackles Lamine Yamal from behind, and it's a clear red card. I don't know what he's thinking. He goes studs up and just going at him with such aggression. It's so stupid. Why would he do that, bro? He's trying to kill him or something. He's trying to break his legs. So dumb for him to go in like that. It's a clear red card. The referee sends him off immediately, and then boom, they go to 10-man down, and boom. Going to the second half is pretty much more cruise control, and then we get the second goal from Lamine Yamal, where a lot of things going inside the box. Frankie de Jong then sets up Lamine to take the shot, and boom, Lamine takes the shot, and boom, golazo. But that second half, I'll give credit to the team. We improved. Like, we were much better on the ball, a lot more connection going forward. I wouldn't say we 100% broke them down easily. I think Villarreal still did a pretty solid job defending. I forgot to mention that first half, that beautiful shot that Raphinha took. That was, oh my god. But again, it was just expected. Like, really, come on, like, let's be honest. It was expected for us to just dominate them. Like, that's like at that point where the one team is a man down, you're just expected to dominate, and especially with the quality of players you have, like, that's pretty much it. Like, we really can't say like, all right, like, anything too impressive. Like, this is what was expected from Barcelona going to the second half, to dominate them, to have a lot more pressure on them, to dominate the ball, like, not let them hold any type of put any pressure on us. They did at times where they did get through us a little bit about a couple of times, but nothing like clear cut, nothing very dangerous. And if they did, Joe Garcia, man, look at that. Look, he just saves us, right? That one beautiful save he made that wasn't offside, but still, it's just like the reactions this guy has is insane, bro. It's insane. It's insane to just give us confidence that in the bigger moments he can step up, right? He can definitely step up, but it's just also a matter of concern with the defense, how clearly they make it look, like how easy they make it for the opposition to get those chances, right? So those are things we definitely have to improve. But considering our defensive situation right now, with Araujo working, like, going through mental health problems, Christensen now out for 4 months, maybe even more, who knows, with I think it was like a partial ACL, I don't know what it was, a partial ACL injury, I don't know, but obviously a lot of concerns going for our defensive line. So we can talk about that another day. But second half was just, I guess, more cruise control from Barcelona in the second half. I think the second goal definitely killed off the game. Villarreal struggled. I'll give props to Villarreal. They didn't go like full on 10 in the back or 5 in the back just to, not get embarrassed or anything. I actually thought, they tried to put pressure on us, and we're actually trying to play, and we still made it a tough game because again, as much as I'm happy we got the win, I wouldn't say it was the most impressive performance from Barcelona, in my opinion. But the most important thing is that we get the dub. That's the more important thing. Going into individuals, John Garcia, incredible game again, bro. The way that the confidence that this guy has, bro. The reactions again, bro. This guy's reflexes are insane, bro. Insane, man. There was a sequence in the first half when they had like 3 shots on him. He just saved every single one with such confidence. And bro, he's just insane. Again, that in the second half, the offside one, it was just like, bro, how is, like, I just know anytime Ter Stegen's in that situation, he's not saving that. Szczesny, no way. It's just not happening. And that's why Szczesny right here, bro, he was happy as hell. He was smiling because he's like, bro, I know I can't do that shit. But we have a goalkeeper finally we can have confidence in, man. We have, like, this guy is insane, bro. He's insane, bro. Even just more to come. Jules Koundé, I thought it was pretty solid. Again, we're seeing a lot more improvement from Jules Koundé from what he was in the beginning of the season, 100%. I wouldn't say he's anywhere near that down bad level he once was. But there was this one moment in the first half where he slips and he looked like he broke his leg for a second. I was very concerned. He comes off with an injury at the end. Towards the 78, almost the 80th minute, I guess he said he had a cramp. Thankfully, nothing major. After the game, they asked him, "Are you going to play? Are you injured?" He said no. So okay, we'll have confidence that. Koundé has the most accurate passes to play 45 minutes or more. Right? Yeah, I thought he was pretty solid. I thought he wasn't bad. Going forward, he's improving a bit more. Made some dangerous crosses at times, but I wouldn't say he was terrible. From the back line, from the center backs pairings, Garcia Martin. Solid game. Again, first half they struggled. First half they made some individual mistakes. First half the defense in general wasn't great. Second half, again, it's expected. You guys do better because they're 10 men down. But all right game from the defense. Balde, first half I thought was poor. Second half improved a lot more defensively. I would say I'll give him credit that. But again, they're 10 men down, so I'm not going to take a lot of credit. Frankie de Jong, first half I thought was non-existent. Second half, or not even non-existent. Let me not say that. Let me rephrase. First half, I wanted a little bit more from him before they went 10 men down. After they went 10 men down, we saw that, okay, he improved a lot more. But even so, like, towards the end, like the last 15, 20 minutes of the game, of the first half, he definitely improved, was a lot more involved, dropping deeper, because then I guess he just realized, all right, Eric Garcia clearly can't handle the pressure, and, started dropping a little bit more. But going forward, I thought he was, opened up a lot of play for us. Obviously, because he assists for Lamine Yamal. So a pretty solid game from Frankie de Jong. And it's definitely, just keeping my mindset on double pivot will have to be Frankie and Pedri. If we want that connection, if we want that, control, that cohesion of two players that can really understand each other, it's going to be Frankie and Pedri, in my opinion. Eric Garcia, again, like, we know what his role is to play in that midfield. And when you don't have a dominant player like Pedri who's all over the place all the time, it makes it difficult for him because, again, Frankie was lacking there. He was hiding a bit in that first half. You have moments where Pedri is just going side to side, going everywhere, literally everywhere to help out his teammates, right, to open up play for us. Well, Frankie was hiding a little bit. So Eric Garcia, he definitely struggled today. He came off in the 66th minute, I think mostly because he had a yellow card. We don't want to risk him. And not great of a performance from Eric Garcia. Raphinha, I thought, wait, let me go to Fermin first. Fermin, I don't know what's up with him. These last couple of games with him, I have not been impressed at all. Like, he's looking a little sluggish, man. When he has the ball, he looks like a little bit wasteful with the ball. His first touch doesn't look great. Not many dangerous opportunities that he creates for himself at all. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of a slow because he's just coming back from his injury as well as a recent. But yeah, definitely needed better performances from him in the second half of the season for sure. Ferran Torres, non-existent at all today. I don't blame him. We really didn't feed him much today, but not much from him. Lamine Yamal, he gets the man of the match. I don't think he got the man of the match at the end. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he did or not. But I don't know what it is with Lamine for me. Like, Lamine, he has his great moments. We all know he has his great moments where he just cooks a defender, sends them to another planet, right? But then there are just moments where I'm just thinking, you're so wasteful with the ball at times. You make wrong decisions at times. You know how many Travillas he tried today? Like, I know like that's what he loves to do and stuff, and at times he looks incredible, but then at times you're just like, why did you have to do that? You're just giving the ball away, right? Sometimes his decision-making is definitely a concern, definitely something he needs to improve on. Again, he's a very young player. He's a very young player, and this will come with time, 100%. It's just a matter of the expectation that Lamine Yamal and the level of what we consider him to be is just so high that when he doesn't play at that level, you're just thinking of, are you washed? Are you done? Like, obviously, people take it to that extremes, calling him overrated and stuff. I don't think he's overrated. Hell no. But it's just a matter of times you're just like, come on, bro. You need to make better decisions. You need to do better here, there. But overall, you know that he's just that kind of winger, right? He's just that kind of player who always wants to cause danger all the time, even if he's wasting opportunities, right? But not a bad game from Lamine, but I want to say it was his greatest. Raphinha, I thought he was pretty good today. Off the ball movements, how dangerous he is, bro. Always makes the great runs, great connections. Second half was a much better improvement for sure. Gets the goal today, but I thought Raphinha did great today as well. Lewandowski comes in, has some good connections here and there, but not much from him. Bernard comes in, solid performance, solid cameo, but nothing too impressive to say wow or anything. Again, it's just hard for me to take a lot away from this game of having such an immense performance, considering they were 10 men down. Casado comes in, solid as well. Marcus Rashford came in. I thought he was great when he came in, man. The connection that he had going forward, linking up, great, causing some problems. He could have scored a goal as well. I thought he was great when he came on today. I'll give him credit. I thought, someone that was definitely eyeing Marcus Rashford in the second half of the season. I thought his connection has definitely improved with his teammates a lot more in this season, so far this season. So, yeah, I mean, Barcelona, the most important thing is that we're top of the table. That's the most important thing. We're ending the year top of the table, and I like to talk about for sure, especially when it comes to our personnel because of the injuries that we currently have. It's not looking great. Andres Christensen going out. Dani Olmo continuously being injury prone. Gavi's, question marks of when he'll come back. Pedri's nothing major. And Araujo, it's not even injury. It's just a mental problem. I don't know. It's a tough situation right now. But yeah, guys, that was the video for today. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about the game. Who was your man of the match? My opinion, I give my man of the match to Joan Garcia, maybe Joan or. It's kind of tough, honestly. I give it to Juan. I don't care. I'm giving it to Juan Garcia. Let me know who will you give your man of the match to. What you guys thought about the game. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for everything available. Share to your friends and love football. And I love you guys so much. Take care and peace.